This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Tuesday, March 18th. I'm Emma Albright.
And I'm Bertrand. People in Jakarta are wrapping up their day, while Rio de Janeiro residents are just getting theirs started. Here in the World Crunch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday, and these are the latest headlines. Donald Trump is set to speak with Vladimir Putin today. Lebanon and Syria have agreed to a ceasefire after 2 days of border clashes. And our daily quiz question comes from a Bulgarian soccer field. Our lead story today comes from Gaza, where Israel's strikes have killed more than 400 people, breaking a 2-month ceasefire in the war-torn region. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he had instructed the military to take strong action against Hamas in response to the Palestinian militant group's refusal to release the remaining hostages held in Gaza.
Also in the region today, Lebanon and Syria have agreed to a ceasefire after 2 days of border clashes. Lebanon's president on Monday had ordered troops to retaliate against the source of gunfire from the Syrian side of the border after more deadly fighting erupted overnight along the frontier, killing 7 Lebanese citizens and injuring 52. The fighting happened after Syria's interim government accused militants from Lebanon's Hezbollah group of crossing into Syria on Saturday.
US President Donald Trump will speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin today in an attempt to convince his counterpart to accept a ceasefire in Russia's war with Ukraine. The Trump administration wants to move toward a more permanent end to the 3-year conflict. The White House is reportedly considering recognizing Crimea, which Moscow annexed from Ukraine in 2014, as Russian territory. Trump continues to reshape affairs across the world 2 months since his return to the White House. Writing in Italian daily La Stampa, Stefano Stefanini argues that there is no foreign policy or trade relationship that isn't influenced by the same fundamental issue: what to do about Trump. After initially struggling to find a proper response without inviting a backlash, world leaders are learning to say no to Trump. Stefanini writes, "Flattery is not enough. Making concessions only invites more demands. So what about simply saying, no thank you?" More and more countries are starting to do just that, politely but firmly. Just ask Canada. The emerging international front against Donald Trump isn't about being against the American president. It still believes in an alliance and partnership with the United States, but it refuses to blindly follow every erratic demand issued by the White House or Mar-a-Lago.
Peru has declared a state of emergency in Lima amid a spate of violence and criminality. President Dina Boluarte's government announced a state of emergency that will last 30 days, where authorities will restrict some rights, including the freedom of assembly and movement. Peru has seen an increase of killings, violent extortion, and attacks on public places in recent months. Now let's take a closer look at what the international press is covering. German daily Frankfurter Rundschau's headline is Decision Day. This comes as the country's lower house of parliament is set to vote today on a massive surge in borrowing. For Europe's largest economy, the move is aimed at stimulating growth amid trade tensions with the United States. The Christian Democrats and Social Democrats, who are in talks to form a centrist coalition after last month's election, want to create a €500 billion fund for infrastructure. The new measure would also ease constitutional rules to allow higher spending on defense.
There's good news from space, where NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams are finally making their way home after 9 months stuck on the International Space Station. Joseph Keebler, a psychologist at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, said that the 2 astronauts showed incredible resilience after the mission was extended due to technical issues with their return vehicle.
Buenos Aires-based Daily Clarín dedicates its front page to soccer star Lionel Messi, who will not be joining the Argentine national team in this month's South American qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. Messi, who is 37, suffered a hip injury during a game on Sunday.
And we're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which is also about soccer. A club in Bulgaria's top division recently issued an apology after holding a minute of silence. Why? Is it because A, the player being mourned is still alive? Is it because B, the club's mascot started dancing? C, supporters broke into anti-government chants? Or is it D, that the minute of silence was only 17 seconds long? The correct answer is A. A professional soccer club in Bulgaria was forced to apologize after mourning a player who was, in fact, not dead. The Arda Kazali club held a minute of silence in remembrance of its former player, Petko Ganchev, ahead of their game against Levski Sofia, with players from both teams lined up on either side of the halfway line, linking arms and bowing their heads before kickoff. Upon realizing their mistake, the club posted on its Facebook page that it had received wrong information, adding, "We wish Petko Ganchev many more years of good health."
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!